Hiya, thanks for stopping. May I take your order, please?
Yeah, let me get 2 Superdogs with everything.
Would you like peppers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, Stories from the 78 here in Norwood Park, celebrating 75 years of Superdawg. Been in this neighborhood since 1948 when streetcars used to go up and down Milwaukee Avenue right there, and there used to be the world's largest pool at the Forest Preserve just yonder that way. True story from the owners themselves, and that's why this has been a staple here. And if you notice, there's an homage to O'Hare Airport. Do you see that control tower right there? That's the homage. Superdawg, where they put the fries on the hot dogs, where they have car hops, like this young lady here, who brings out the food to you, or you can walk up to the window. I'm gonna talk to 3 of the owners right now for this story of the 78 here at Superdawg in Norwood Park. All right, you got your order yet? That's the speaker here at the world famous Superdawg. I have the owners of Superdawg right here with me. Why don't we go down the line, everybody, and say hi. Start with you first, sir.
Scott Berman.
Scott.
Lisa Drucker.
Lisa.
And I'm Don Drucker. I'm Lisa's husband.
And this is a family affair, started in 1948. And I didn't know this up until just recently, that this was a summer stand only for the first couple of years, and then it became full-time. Is
We're
that right?
the children of Maury and Florrie Berman. Our mom and dad built Superdawg in '48 to put themselves through school at Northwestern University. My dad had come back from World War II, married my mom, his high school sweetheart from Von Steuben High School. They were prom dates together, and in '47 he came back from World War II and got married to my mom, and the two of them then opened Superdawg in '48 to put themselves through school. Summers only. They would take the Superdogs on the roof, which are the same Superdogs from 1948, 75 years ago. They would take them down and bring them in the building in the winters of 48 and 49. But in 50, they graduated from Northwestern. My dad became an accountant. My mother became a teacher. I was born, and they decided...
There's a lot going on there.
And they decided to open year-round and not practice accounting or teaching. And they enjoyed doing this more, and they did all their lives.
And this has been a neighborhood staple forever. But where did your parents grow up? What part of the city were they
Albany
in?
Park.
Albany, oh, not too far,
North
just down.
Siders, the Albany Parkers, about 10, 15 minutes from here. Went to Chicago Public Schools. My mom went to Fulton. My dad went to Hibbard, and they both met. They met in high school at Von Steuben.
Fantastic. And I just walking through the space and getting a tour, it's very unique in terms of hot dog stands, just because of the setup that you have inside, which your dad, he's designed. A lot of that, what's going on there,
But
your dad designed.
You also have to keep in mind that the kitchen is our original kitchen from
Right.
1948. So it's the original 20 by 12 space that we're doing business in 75 years later in 2023. So yes, the equipment was custom designed for us, and the flow of the food was also custom designed by my dad. But what is especially unique is it's the original building. The original kitchen.
That's incredible. The original kitchen, the original setup, and your dad was very instrumental in the way the hot dog...
The flow. I would call it the flow. The kitchen flow.
The kitchen flow. Even the potato cutter.
Even everything. Even our
Even the
crinkle
potato
cut.
slicer that he designed.
Right. We specialize in a fresh cut fry, crinkle cut on all 4 sides, and those potatoes are cut on a proprietary machine.
And that's something that you do. You blanch them, and then that gets that crispiness with the specific type of slicer.
The blanching cooks to this. Right, the cutting of it gives us a fully rectangular and large future French fried potato with sharp points on the outside. We drop them in the oil to cook them to the inside, hang them on blanch racks where they continue to cook for a little short time, and then we finish them. So the inside is hot and continues to be a lot of potato without being cooked out, and the outside is crispy on the points.
I imagine the neighborhood's changed a lot on Milwaukee Avenue here, but this has stayed the same. Was it originally this big of a drive-in setup when it came in?
You guys will know
No,
that
the
better
original.
than me.
The answer is yes, but no.
Okay.
So
I
the
was gonna
neighborhood
say.
has changed considerably.
Yes.
When my folks came in '48, this was mostly prairie.
Really?
The
So this is like the last
buildings,
stop, huh? On
kind
the
of,
way out of
because
the
as
city?
you
Plus,
know,
the streetcar line ended right here.
Okay.
Whalen Pool, which is the big
Yep.
WPA project across the street, was the largest in-ground pool in the world at the time.
Really?
And Maury
wonderful.
was looking for a place to open. He drove around, saw it for rent. He said, "All right, that's it. You know, we're at the end of the streetcar. They'll come on their way to the pool. They'll stop on their way back to go home." And so we moved the building up towards the street, so that when you got off the streetcar, you could either stop at the front counter or go over to the pool, and then on your way back, come back.
And the original, so all around us was not built up. It was prairie. So there was, wild grass. Our parking lot was originally not paved. It obviously is now. In 2023 became that over the years. It was gravel. And the only thing that was here, there was always a gas station next door. And across the street, what is now a supermarket and a bustling corner, was a small country store called Lilac Farm, which was kind of known as a dairy store, a butter and egg store, where farmers would bring their fresh product and sell it. It was a staple around the neighborhood, the Norwood Park neighborhood, the Gladstone Park neighborhood, and around there. But we've been on this corner since 1948, and as we like to say, we just do the same thing every day, and the neighborhood has changed around us.
And they've adapted to what you guys have always done, which is hot dogs, burgers,
And
shakes,
drive-in.
which is a very, I don't even want to say novelty thing, but it's something from years past.
It wasn't when we
It wasn't when we
Right.
started, but now, Chicago winters can be difficult to operate in.
But I've been here on a
That's-
Saturday in Chicago winters, and
That's-
there's not a spot to be had in
Oh,
this
no,
lot.
no, we're very
Right,
busy
so
all
we
year round.
We're open 362 days of the year. We only close 3 days. And we have car hop service all year round. But as, time went on, other drive-ins that were open and popular when we started back in 48, that all kind of went away. We're the only drive-in left in Chicago.
It's amazing you talk about the streetcar on Milwaukee. When did that stop happening? Because I've been around for a while myself, and I don't remember streetcars.
In the 40s, there were streetcars with actual rails.
Sure.
In the 50s, they became buses with electric wires, and that was in the 50s. And then by the 60s, they took the wires away. But a lot of the former trolley lines, those streetcar lines, became electric bus lines for 10 to 15 years before they motorized them.
So we're still a popular, Milwaukee Avenue still has
Yeah.
a bus. It's just kind of changed over the years from
Sure.
being streetcar to electric bus to CTA bus. And now the CTA, it's run by Pace. It's a Pace bus that runs up and down Milwaukee Avenue all day.
But we're still the edge of the city. That was the other thing that my parents wanted to be. Not only, as Don said, at the end of the streetcar line and near Wayland Pool and Forest Preserve, but they wanted to be that long ride that you were taking after World War II, when GIs had gas and GIs could buy cars, and they could take that ride to the edge of the city. So Devon Avenue is actually the edge of the city.
Yeah, sure is.
To the north of us is Niles and Park Ridge and Morton Grove and Skokie. So we then sit at that nice corner of the edge of the city, and coincidentally just a few minutes from O'Hare Airport, which didn't exist in 48. In 48 it was a military airport, and then it became, oh boy, O'Hare International Airport,
So-
which we are just a few minutes from.
I think it's proven that your parents hit location right
Yes.
on the head, huh?
They,
Yes,
they
yes.
really did perfectly. In fact, the Blue Dome, which I think you took pictures of earlier, is to replicate a control tower at an airport.
I didn't know that.
It was put up there by them so it could sit above the switchboard tower, the switchboard where the car hop answers the switchboard and says, "Hiya, thanks for stopping. May I take your order, please?" That answering of the switchboard sits under that tower, looking like a air traffic control tower.
And that's the same process you guys have used for years since
Yes,
the beginning,
since the
right?
50s, yeah.
Because you're still using paper and pen
Yep.
or pencil
Yep.
or
Yep.
whatever.
We
Like,
Exactly.
handwrite every order. We don't punch it into the, POS or anything to take
which is
the order.
amazing, honestly, because you go to so many places and now they look at you funny when you have cash in your hand these
Right,
days,
right.
which is a
Exactly.
complete change to the fact that you guys are still
Nancy
using.
taking an order.
Yeah, so that's car hopper.
Right.
Nancy
Car
car
hopper.
hopper.
It's a car hop.
Okay, but that was out of not necessarily
So in the earliest
necessity.
days, our parents had cars that pulled into the parking lot. As we said, rented at first, and then they bought the property, and the parking lot was gravel. And the cars would blink their lights if they wanted service, and the car hops would come from the outdoor window because the interior hadn't been built yet. They would come from the outdoor flap window and walk over to the car and take their order. Same paper. Hiya, thanks for stopping. Take the order, bring it into the kitchen. So then in 52 or so, they were able to develop this electronic ordering system, hard piped underground, so it was good, clear, crisp sound.
52. So still 70-something years.
Oh, yeah.
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
incredible.
Early
The,
50s.
the earliest
Yeah.
days was lights blinking on cars because they hadn't invented the system yet, and then we were one of the first in the country to use a system like this.
And it's worked so many years. I mean, going back to what you were saying, your parents were CPAs. They went to school for...
My dad was a CPA, my mother was a teacher.
Yeah, so very, meticulous in the way to keep things organized, to get it right. And that's a big thing here. It's in the blood of this place, get it right. And that's out of the boxes where you can circle the ingredients or non-ingredients that people want on the boxes, to the system that you have to...
A lot of checks and balances within the system of, how we take the order and write the order, how we punch the orders, how things, who bags where the order goes, and then how it's bagged and presented to the customer. There's a lot of checks so that it's not just 2 eyeballs on it, it's 4 or 6 eyeballs on it before it ever goes out. It's not to say we don't make mistakes.
Sure, I mean, you're human, right? Everybody, but...
Right, but for as much business as we do, we don't make too many.
Our biggest compliment is not your first visit, but our biggest compliment is your second visit. And our extra biggest compliment is when you come back for the second time and you bring someone with you, because that means that we got it so right. So you were so pleased. We did everything right, and you were so pleased that we exceeded our own expectations, and you came back the next time with a friend.
So that's printed on all of our packaging. We're doing our darndest to satisfy every customer every time in a manner that'll make them want to come back and bring their friends with them. So we really preach it, we believe it, we live by it, and our family of staff, goes by that as well.
So we are cute. We know that. We're cute building.
You are cute.
Drive-in. Yeah,
Lovely.
We have a very nice place. But our food is delicious also. And that's another thing that Lisa and Don were saying, that people wouldn't come back if it were just a cute one-time tourist
This
place.
isn't a run-of-the-mill hot dog stand.
No.
Not at all.
Our Superdogs are made to our recipe that
That's
my
what I'm
parents
talking about,
developed. In the
that
40s.
your parents developed.
They developed the recipe,
which is incredible.
and it's still made by manufacturer for us to that recipe. It's a special dog, all beef, choice cuts. Everything is made for us. The buns are specially made by the bakery for us to hold our Superdawg. Our fries we hand cut. The condiments that we put on are spec to be a certain type of condiment to go with Superdawg, and everything.
Even the cheese, you even slice the cheese on your own.
With real 10-pound bricks of cheese that we slice. We do everything ourselves so that it can be, every sandwich can be that perfect tasting sandwich. And we eat it every single day.
How can you not?
That's right.
What I also like to say is, as you just touched on, we are cute. And sometimes people want to come for the destination.
Sure.
Some people come because they heard we have great food.
Right.
So if you come for the destination, you're so happily surprised because the food is so good.
Right, because we've all been on that other end of it, right?
Because you've heard, and some people heard the food is so great.
Uh-huh.
And maybe you didn't tell them about that. Maybe they didn't know about the cuteness. But then they get here, and the destination is so cute. So it's kind of a perfect merger of both delicious food and environment.
And as we're standing here talking, I know right behind you business is picking up, and I think people are filling in behind you because it is dinner time. But what's one of the things, like, what if you could talk to your parents today, what would they be most proud of? Here we are 75 years later after they opened.
I think they were proud every day, and we're very, very fortunate that our parents lived to very old age, both of them. So I think they were proud until, I think they would be just as happy as they were when they were alive. Our dad only passed away 8 years ago. Our mom passed away 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So really,
wow. That's
the first 67 years, our dad was around, and the first 70 years, our mom was around. So we just celebrated our 75th anniversary, but it's really just an eye blink away that they were standing next to us.
And they really liked it as not only a job, but as a hobby. They just enjoyed every day of it. They would be driving around doing other things possibly, and they would still stop here 2-3 times a day, checking on things, making sure everything was going okay, eating the food. This to them was a real passion project.
Absolutely.
They loved it in the 40s, and they loved it all the way up until just recently.
I think the other thing that they would be very proud of, they were proud and of their accomplishment for something, that they put their heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears, everything into it. They raised a family here. I'm the son-in-law, so I'm the outsider looking in, but I think that, I knew them a long time.
Sure.
And worked with them both a long time, and I would say that, they were proud of the acclaim that they reached and knew about. And I think now, because they weren't here for the 75th anniversary, they would be really proud that we made it to 75 years, because that's quite an accomplishment.
That's a run of any kind of business.
And that, you know, we've got second and third generation that have, you know, carried on what they began.
And look how, I just wanted to point out that right there says it all. That picture with the father and daughter right there.
We look for new generations all the time.
Absolutely, that's the most important thing. And I just, as we're standing here, I'm watching people. It's funny to me that some of the drivers don't order the food. The person in the back seat will jump out of the car and walk up to the speaker and order the food. I bet you guys have seen everything in terms of ordering food at this place.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of everything, not just order the food.
I bet.
And my parents liked that. They liked all that different technique, whether they ordered from the front seat or the back seat, whether they come up to the front counter. We kept the front counter. We could have just been a drive-in.
That's what's great.
But keeping that front counter, just like getting off the streetcar in the 40s, you could just walk up and get your food also.
Yeah, that's something you just don't see anymore.
And when COVID hit in March of 2020, hit the world, not just Chicago, we were very fortunate that our style of serving lent itself, who would have thought, to the pandemic lifestyle that we all had to become accustomed to, starting in March of 2020.
You know, everybody went to, you know, curbside delivery. And I just say, well, we were the original curbside delivery. We just have a bigger curb than everybody else.
Yes, you sure do.
And so we were really set for it. We didn't really have to change too much, and that was fortunate for us.
Well, you know, it's been such a wonderful time talking with the family of Superdawg here. Thank you so much for sharing some of the stories of your parents, and you know, your staff was wonderful with the weirdo guy with the camera walking through and taking pictures and everything. I appreciate your time. And congratulations on the 75th. Here's 75 more. The legacy live on. And if people want to follow the story, you guys have a website. Where should people go to find out?
Superdawg.com. We have
simple.
a great history page with beautiful pictures and some archival stuff. And we have a souvenir shop. Our menu's on our website. We have a beautiful website with drone photography of both of our locations. Our original location, we didn't talk about our baby sister,
the Wheeling location,
our location in Wheeling, which is 13 years old, modeled after our 1948 drive-in here, but opened in 2010, built in 2009 to look like this, just much larger.
And modern look like this with a modern retro look.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
It has like a Jetsons vision of what a retro drive-in would be.
Yes, it does. I actually just drove by it the other day we were on our way to another spot and we passed right by it. We even get to the packaging, but the packaging itself, the story of Superdawg right there on the packaging as well, which is very unique in itself, and the venting and everything else that you walk into.
I wanted to mention one more thing because you talked about neighborhoods. We sit also in an unusual place because we sit in the middle of multiple neighborhoods belonging to all the chambers of commerce. Norwood Park, Edison Park, Gladstone Park, Jefferson Park, Edgebrook, Saugus,
Yeah, I know, right?
Forest Glen. So we sit at that point of all those neighborhoods.
And our
converging.
suburban friends in Niles and Park Ridge.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
So we are
And O'Hare.
We are all of those neighborhoods. So for your story on the 78, we are a bunch of those neighborhoods that are part of the original 77.
And that's why if they haven't been here yet, they need to make the trek. Can't take the streetcar anymore, but you can take the bus.
Right.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping.
Tom.
Sure.
All right, that's the story here from the 78, right outside the original walk-up window where the streetcar used to drop you right off to get a hot dog here at Milwaukee and Devon. TomBarnishChicago@gmail.com if you have a story from the 78 suggestion. Otherwise, go over to the website, storiesfromthe78.com. Get the fries with the hot dog, write it in the little bun. It's fantastic. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you.